afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Off here to 1 vs 1 on the Faymonville Approach in the northwest. It is Opportunity Cost, aka Expensive Runner, fighting for the German army, the Oberkommando West, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 3rd Panzer Division to the southeast. It is Papi, aka Nicko, aka Nagano, fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism. Comrade Stalin, taking on the role here of the 7th Tank Corps. We got Luftwaffe Ground Forces, Ground Defense, and Elite Armored versus Urban Defense, Guard Rifle, and Guard Motor with Triple Infantry there as well. Well, still on Pony Bullets as well. We're going to Kuhwagen start here for Expensive Runner. Also, as always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press that bell button so you're more likely to get, the reminder about the videos. In fact, recently I had someone apparently didn't get a notification all of the video had gone up. So, Otherwise, if you don't see a notification, don't assume I haven't put out a video. I put up videos daily. That's kind of my thing. So if you don't see a video, you can always go check the channel, I guess. But still, just make sure to like, subscribe, and all that, because it works off these sort of weird engagement metrics. And if they feel like you're not engaged enough, I guess they'll just decide you're not interested. So do try to like, subscribe, and share, and press that bell button for that reason. So you're more likely to get updated about the videos. And even the bell button, it's no guarantee, but it slightly increases it. Anyways, back to a regular scheduled propaganda. We got double engineer penal to start here for Nicko. More filters there for Expensive Runner. Holding up by the fuel pond there with filters behind sandbags, ready to withstand any Soviet assault. Barbed wire here to deny entrance to the building there, so it becomes harder for Nicko to use the building. And easier for Expensive Runner to use it. We got Scoutcraft on for Nicko. Very much standard choice there versus the Oberkommando West, since they lack any sort of needed counters, except unless they go for something with the Panzerverteidigung and tank rifle or go for a Kidnap if they can, so I got a bit there. And even Kidnaps aren't wildly amazing counters to them 3-1 unless the opponent is playing them poorly. So we'll see what it ends up with here. We got Penals going straight here for Expensive Runner's car point. That's not really leading to much here. It's the northern one. We got Force engaging them though. On the south, Sturmpuning engineers. Forces joining in, catching one. Nicko's engineer squawks in a bit of a tight spot. Further fight here, Fox versus Penal Troopers at medium range. It's going to be a win there for the Penal Troopers. They do have a real good DPS there. And there goes Sturmpanier going down. The engineers backed up by the Foxes. Fox retreat in the south. Up here, he's going to have to retreat those soon. They're already down to less than half health. Penal Troops are holding out, but certainly doing better. And there go, got the Scout Crowd as well. Sturmpanier's in trouble. And we do get Grand Offensive and do get Panzerverteidigung. So there you go. That's basically a reaction here to the Scout Crowd. Overall, Grand Offensive is just a flexible doctrine, very popular, so it's not exactly a panic choice that's going to cost them later in the game either. Infantry one moving about there. Sturmpaniers on watch. Of North Kuhwagen there, who's down the engineers slightly. We got more penals on the way there for Nicko. Troops sitting out, troops reinforcing. Bit of skirmishing about to happen there. Mines being laid down here for Expensive Runner. Panzer is closing on the Strafniki here with their Kar 98 case. Kuhwagen joining in as well here for some good German fun. And there goes Strafniki on the run. Just get Flamethrower using the Scout Car. It's going to give Expensive Runner a bit of a hard time there. He's using the mine here to bait in, though it seems like Expensive Runner is exactly expecting such a bait and is taking a longer route here. Good play there. Of course, he may still end up forgetting the mine, and this could bite him in the arse, but for now at least, he is avoiding the mine. Nice, and there goes Fox being routed here with the Scout Car. Expensive Runner just getting the devil out of there in the south. Panzer's there, moving about in the north, not going to try and win to deal with it. Small chance he was seeing a weapon with the Fox, but it's a small chance and would require some high RNG than in favour of Nicko, but as you can see, this is already doing some heavy damage, so as you can see there, it's not exactly impossible. There's a reason why flamethrowers and the Scout Car is a very popular tactic for the Soviets against the Oberkommando West, because it can do some big damage occasionally out of nowhere. Truck out there for Expensive Runner, like the mechanized regiment for Luxus and Pumas here versus Nicko. We got more Strafniki on the way there for Nicko, and we got Panzers here versus the Engineers. Engineers will have to retreat eventually. In fact, the faster they retreat, the more likely they are to make it back home. As Expensive Regiment knows, quickly moving up more and more troops here to cover the potential retreat path here on the Engineers, increasing his chance of actually wiping them. There we go, finding around the cut-off point here. So Scout Car moves in there. Nicko has been cut off from both fuel points, but at the same time, Expensive Runner has been cut off from this fuel as well in one way or the other. Engineers still holding up here. We got Penals returning from the south. Full because Panzer about to deal with that. Scout Car threatening the flank here. Now we do get a battle group headquarters here for Expensive Runner. A interesting choice there. Might be a flag half track he's planning here, or something else. But I would have figured we'd actually be seeing here a Lux. So we'll try and rush that out maybe. But no, we do get the battle group headquarters. mines in the middle of the road, but that's going to be spotted with the penal troops and just, well, more or less annoyed, and they're going to need to actually get away with it. He's not going to try and finish them off. That could have been a small help there for Expensive Runner versus Nicko, who's meanwhile just hitting the southern fuel point there. Very good for Nicko. Let's go for Expensive Runner. There we go. We do get the 2 feet 117 flak half track on the way there for Expensive Runner. Seizing the northern points here. So that's going to take a bit of while. That's going to force Expensive Runner to either go for gas and to tank options of penal troops, decreasing the ability to fight Expensive Runner's infantry at the same time. By the way, flak half tracks are nice to see. They certainly do see some usage, but compared with mechanized Rangers, Lux Puma, they are a lot less regular acquaintances on the battlefield. Scout setting up there again. You can just see there Nicko looking to disrupt Expensive Runner's fuel flow at any time, which of course is really good. It's also of course what Expensive Runner's trying to do here to Nicko. Kuban charging in there. I'm guessing that was a misclick or something else. Scout being pushed back. Flak half track almost down there for Expensive Runner and the 3rd Panzer Division. Fox are sitting out. They can of course begin equipping assault rifles. Of course, you might be planning either Panzer Shakes and T-50s on the Panzers. I'd expect Panzer Shakes though. There you go. Munitions being handed there for Minesweepers. Flak half track ready here for Expensive Runner for Swaziland. Got that scout car sneaking about. MG-34 on the way there for Expensive Runner. There you go. Scout car in the open. There's the flak half track. Should take some hits. Not quite enough to finish off. And there we go. We do get urban defense here for Expensive Run. Oh, Nicko, who immediately summons forth the light into tank and try and counter it. Basically thinking, well, that's also an option. I could have kept in mind there, but either way. And to tank on the way to help counter the flak half track, plus any other light vehicles that Expensive Runner might toss at him. Otherwise, could using that to form up nucleus there to form an assault force to go straight for the CoH point. Deny Nicko access to the resource south, and that way also split up his forces. Maybe sort of be able to deal with them in a slightly more leisurely way. MG-34 being hold forward as well. Might just stuff that one to the building here, set up a zone of control around the centre. Northern side being seized more or less entirely here by Expensive Runner's Panzer facility. Flak half track coming up, and there you go, direct hit from the M42. Also revealing to Expensive Runner what doctrine here that Nicko has gone for. He's lining up here for a deep flank here, basically taking advantage of the CoH point. He's assumed that maybe, you know, Expensive Runner isn't quite aware of many troops that are actually in the territories here that have been cut off, and might try and hit Expensive Runner an angle he's not anticipating. Flak half track being repaired, but it's off close to the anti-tank gun. And there you go, pinch flank in, they're taking fire from that, but still forcing the flak half track position, giving the penals more time to advance. Machine gun there also being flanked here. Good counter maneuver there from Nicko, punishing Expensive Runner for a bit of laxity there. Now the MG-34 now you can see that Expensive Runner's forces are more or less being entirely routed, with only a single Fulsker squad now manning the front line, as Nicko and the 7th Tank Corps swarms forth. Kuban still operable, but in dire need of repairs alongside the flak half track. Troops in reinforcing. Panzer in fact close to being wiped out over the penal troopers. Be lucky there for Expensive Runner if they managed to get back home, and they didn't, so no luck for him. Not this time at least. The Steam Pioneer is not preparing the flak half track. He's making a head-on assault here to defend the CoH and reclaim it as fast as possible. He's also a bit short on infantry. Now we got a satchel charge here to try and blow up his advancing troops. Grenade here on the retreat path could try and take out the anti-tank and turn it against Nicko. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. We got shock troopers out for Nicko to try and counter all Expensive Runner's infantry. Though of course versus the flak half track, the shock troopers will fall a bit short. And there you go. An emergency crew here on the anti-tank about an engineer sacrificing his minesweeper team as well to do that. And fast off, they almost got the scout car. Anti-tank gun down again. Some intense fighting here between Expensive Runner and Nicko. As now the players intend to let the Alman get away east, we've got another fuel, but they're being seized. Very good as well there. And we got more anti-tankers out there for Nicko as Expensive Runner runs off with the anti-tank gun. And still got the 2 vehicles in need repairs. Definitely not good there for Expensive Runner. Like having, in particular, the flak half track doing nothing for several minutes is a bit problematic in just terms of, like, you know, he's got a fat part of his force doing zip. So that needs to be, I think, rectified pretty swiftly. Setting in there. Back here, troops reinforcing. No medics ready yet there either. Sort of things I think forgotten there by Expensive Runner in his great big rush there, push back Nicko. And that has very much left him vulnerable to sort of a good counter thrust here from Nicko, which again was very well executed. Ultimately, he's been mining up the area. In fact, the southern fuel point has been somewhat intensely mined out, in fact, making it a bit harder there for Expensive Runner to get to it easily. Anti-tank moving up, though of course he does have one anti-tank in here from Nicko. It's not like Expensive Runner didn't get anything out of it at all, but That could have gone a bit better, I'd argue. Flak half good to go. Coolbang almost good to go. We'll have to see if he goes for the medics anytime soon. Machine gun there versus the penal troops in heavy cover. That's not a great engagement. Having Salfords, machine guns up to cover. Panzers moving in, no minesweepers to back it up though. They're obviously busy up elsewhere with repairing stuff. Ooh, straight to the anti-tank of a flak half track. Small chance of a Panzer in the scout count and actually, you know, slowing it down a bit. Flak half track routed. Need to be careful there. Back here. Sturm Panics Coolbang good to go. So on the fuel point that's caught by the MD-34 that did hit on mine, so it's already slightly more to being wiped out here by Nicko. And there you go. Penalty was the MD-34. If he can suppress both squads in time, he should have a chance here of not losing. And there you go. One squad pinned down, the other one suppressed. Very good there for Expensive Runner. Bit close one there for Nicko. Forces rounded there by the MD-34 with a desperate stand. Scout car being fixed up again. No further tech yet for Nicko. As for Expensive Runner, I imagine they'll be trying to push for some faster panzers eventually. They've got an anti-tank to back up the... Well, the Academy have to back up the anti-tank gun. There we go. Good hit there from the anti-tank gun. Not enough, of course, to finish it off, but it's going to keep it a bit away there. Panzers loading up in the centre. I'm guessing they might also have been kept open there just in case he wants Panzer checks. Coolwagen stopped by the shock troopers. Shockingly so. MD-34 retreating. Obviously could keep it around just to make sure nothing gets, you know, snuck in there, but at the same time it's a low on health. Likely Nicko's going to try and flank it anyways and just clear it out easily, so better just retreated and accept it's going to be a loss either way if he tries to keep it around there and just get the machine in a better state. We got a Kedmev out there, so that's 2 anti-tank weapons versus Nicko's 1. Strafniki setting out. Minesweepers there, flak up setting out. Nicko lining up for a big push to try and get that fuel point across a white frontage. Be hard to be stopped by a single flak half tank machine gun. Very good move there. Flak half tank falling back, taking hits there from the M42 anti-tank gun. North side is kind of open, couldn't leave harass in there. Though, of course, I believe the shock troop is still there, so that would, well, very much put a stop to harassment anyway, so that's probably a bad idea, actually. Nicko taking up there, tank command up, like going to be going straight for the mechanized armor company. Well, obviously, if he tries to then go straight for the KV2, he goes for some T-34s first, which would probably be the wise idea. Machine guns setting up here and there, but not quite enough to stop the main thrust here of Nicko's assault once he pushed back the flak half track. The south side was open because they didn't bring in machine guns there sufficiently fast enough. Lost a Panzer squad again, so some high casualties there. Flak half track still being pushed over the anti-tank gun, down to less than half health. In fact, one more shot instead. Quick smoke screen there. And you fit up the shock troopers point blank range. And without any smoke there, they are very much forced to retreat there. Close one there, though, for Expensive Runner could have cost them the MU-34 there if they hadn't had that on cooldown. MU-34 holding up more troops, but so far Expensive Runner is very much in the defensive versus Nicko, who's just laying down the pressure. And there we go, we got the mechanized armor company up there in Nicko's base. As Expensive Runner charges forwards. Troops are being slowly murdered out here. Penal troopers routed. All across. Anti-tank exposed. Could be another anti-tank on wipe and then either secured or salvaged. Very close to getting cleared up. We got Pims getting away and they're going to tank on crew exterminated. Coolbang located moving up as well. Bit of further finding here over the point. Oh, mine went off. Nice mining there by Nicko as always, destroying in this case around. MD-34 moving in. Finding around to the scout car still alive is confounding here. Expensive Runner's defense is clearing out the anti-tank gun. Good work. Southern one destroyed. Ram the southern fuel point back. Almost got that scout car. Should be able to finish off the some of the flak half track. And oh, the engineers drawing the fire, maybe giving the scout car their chance to actually get away. But no, he keeps fighting here. There you go. Scout car down. Small chance getting engineers white. Ooh, crewing the anti-tank right under the line of fire here. That should be cleared out here. Shock troopers moving through the south. Academy of abandoned. That's definitely bad news there for Expensive Runner. The old situation for Expensive Runner remains desperate, though he's also causing some heavy casualties there for Nicko. I mean, both players are still down at the 40-minute mark, not exactly in possession of big forces. Oh, nice work there. Try to Toss a smoke grenade. See so through used attack round there. And the thing is, units while suppressed can't actually crew weapons, so good use is there by Expensive Runner of the attack round ability of the flak half track to deny him the Raketenwerfer. Close save there. More footballs on the way there for Expensive Runner and the 3rd Panzer Division. Does look like here Nicko is going straight for the KV2, and that's definitely going to require some heavy armor here from Expensive Runner again. The consistent field harassment and denial here by Nicko is making it very difficult to push for armor. We do get the truck on where there could be a Schwer Panzer quarters, but whatever he gets will be delayed. And obviously, oh, we made it off with the other anti-tank gun. So he's down to just one Raketenwerfer effectively to stop a KV2 heavy tank, and that's going to be quite a challenge, to put it mildly. Will be quite the challenge for Expensive Runner for Deutschland. Folks sitting out there, assault rifle in hand. Note this version of the 251-17 flak half track was actually a specific workshop version for the Hammond Göring Fallschirm Panzergrenadier Division in Italy, I believe. The more conversions, not really, you know, looking that snazzy. Later version, but would also exist and actually equipped with the triple flak drilling machine guns. Basically, aircraft machine guns repurposed for anti-aircraft and shooting at infantry, I guess. Sadly, they didn't go for that one. I feel that would have been much more fun. But anyways, Kuban sitting out there. It's using the southern victory point there. We got 355 to 447. Shock trooper sitting out there for Nicko. Bringing it off from the shock troopers, and not from the shock troopers, the folks are almost taking them out. In fact, very good throw there from Nicko. They find the south engineers point blank was the flak half down veteran 2 battle, which is really bad news for any of Nicko's infantry due to, of course, the damage bonus it gets. South charges off there, big explosions. Infantry opening up here from the northern half of that area, pushing back the Strafniki with bind force. We got the Schwer Panzer course up to defend the fuel point. Should of course get it upgraded fast enough though. Nicko now is very close to the KV2, and there's certainly a possibility Nicko might just drive it straight here at the Schwer Panzer Corps again, trying to destroy it, which is going to put Expensive Run in a really bad spot. But that is what happens. Troops sitting out there. Got the point. Penal troops moving in. Got forces doubling in there to stop that. Flak half track remaining defensively until I imagine the Schwer Panzer Corps has been upgraded with the, or activated with its first middle flak. There we go. Panzer authorization happening. Focusing with engineers, slowly hosing them down there. Ace level, by the way. And quickly setting up in such a manner can easily cover the retreat here from the back door and wipe them out if he does try to retreat. And I think in this case, Nicko has either decided he doesn't care about them or he's not, or he forgot about them. Either way, though, they died. Engineers fought them to almost hold hit by the Volksguns as well. Panther authorization done. He can go for some Oberstleiten as well, but right now his priority should probably be something like a Yak Panzer or a Panther to stop that KV2 once he sees it, of course, I mean. But he will do that very soon. Like, there's going to be no mistake he's going to be hit by KV2 once he sees it, so, you know. If he goes for a Panther 4, that definitely, I think, one of the weaker choices. You need something with some good penetration rate of fire to stop that one. Sturmpanzer is good to go. Might want to put more effort in the north now that Nicko's by doing nothing there, so that'd be a really great move there from Expensive Runner. Just sneakers and falls up northwards to harass, and there you go. Kubang, which by the way has survived now for almost 20 minutes, is on the way, though he hasn't been doing a lot there. Beyond that, KV2 charging in, full is immediately running as they encounter the 152mm gun there. Mine goes off on the KV2, possibly a mine that follows it off, or the KV2 set it off. Either way, though, KV2's engine damage, got the anti-scan, also engaging the Schwer Panzer quarters. Punish him for putting it out like that, and certainly something you might want to consider could have happened. So how will Expensive Runner salvage this one? Like, he has to clear out all of this. We got incendiary armor prison rounds. Probably hoping to hit the anti-tank, going to clear that out. That's definitely one way, but it's going to need more forces down there. Up north, Kuban's using the missions point there. Schwer Panzer quarters down to less than half health already. One of his better bets. A bit risky though, but you'd actually drive the flak half in front of you and pop a smoke screen. That way covering it up. Go down the KV2. Almost got the anti-tank gun, but yeah, the Schwer Panzer Corps is down for Expensive Runner. That is a big loss, and of course a big win there for Nicko. Flak half has all the shot infantry up close. And again, eventually 2 it does a lot of damage. Bring it off there, but not enough to save them from being murdered by the flak half-track. Not enough at all. Close of HTV in the flak half-track already. So while Nicko's definitely short on infantry, I mean, Expense Runner always actually has a larger force here than Nicko. I mean, he's got more infantry, he's got more support weapons. But he doesn't have a KV-2 heavy assault tank. And he can't, you know, lost his spare punch quarter, so he has to replace it. I mean, the other option is to go for the mechanized ready and try and go for the King Tiger. I mean, that would actually make more sense in some ways, but I mean, we'll have to see what he goes for. Like, does he try and go for the Tiger tank, go for the King Tiger? I mean, I've certainly seen situations where some players actually still go for the Tiger tank than the King Tiger, despite at this point the Tiger tank would effectively be more expensive than the King Tiger. Which then I think says something about how Oberkommandos players appreciate the Tiger tank more than the King Tiger in game. If that is the case. He definitely should be more careful that plays in the Shroud Panther quarters so close to the front line this time around, because he knows, I mean, he should be aware that if Nicko sees it again easily accessible, he's just going to drive his tank gun into KV-2 out and destroy it. Still, Nicko's been able to take advantage of this, you know, can control the map, using his larger forces there to control resources better, very good, and we do, by Jove, get a second Shroud Panther quarter if expensive runner. So he's definitely not going to go for a King Tiger. So again, it might be a Tiger tank, but I would recommend a Jack Panther Panther here, to be honest. And of course, those would be more expensive, cheaper than going for a King Tiger as well. In some ways, but not by a lot really. Since once you've got this fully upgraded, I mean, just going for any other tank beyond that, even a medium one, is just going to be almost as costly. Instead, going for mechanized ready and straight into a King Tiger. That's sort of the fun thing. Flak half-track there, very, very close to Veterinary Fleet. But there you go, hit there from the line to tank gun. Inch enough, he's not grabbing the fuel point back. Nicko's KV-2 heavy assault tank ready to challenge the fascists once more. MD-34, they're definitely in a very exposed spot then, an easy target for the KV-2. Like Kendall shoots, bounces, machine gun needs to get out of there schnell before it gets buried alive. Or dead, depending on how they actually survive the shock. Wave there from the KV-2, there you go. Rakedov taking nasty hit. He's focusing on Rakedov with the machine gun. KV-2 that falls back here due to the severe pressure of the Rakedov. Oh, no, pushes in again. Needs to get the machine gun out of there. Oh, Rakedov wiped out. Building almost collapsing. The machine gun net does fall out finally. Southern fuel point there being snug up here by Nicko. Basically using the MD-34, or not the MD-34, but the KV-2 as bait here to draw away Expense Runners attempt from the rest of the map there. Very good, but there you go. Expense Runners heading up north here. Flag half-tab heading up, and there you go. Veterinary Fleet Strafniki routed with violence. MD-34 there. Opening up to deal with engineers. KV-2 moving in, shoots and misses, but it's sufficient shots for the cross street, and there you go. Mine goes off in the KV-2 heavy tank, half health. Flak gun there actually slightly penetrates, does some damage. So how will he deal with it? Troops reinforcing. At least this time he didn't get destroyed right away. He might have bought himself some time, but ultimately he needs to, you know, establish a cordon around it so he can't just drive out and shoot it to bits. Nicko following up with the T-34-76, and Expense Runner is still short on tanks. And of course that's really where the big problem begins, because once Nicko begins just churning the tanks off the, you know, factory lines, Expense Runner's going to have a much harder time catching up and dealing with that. Even he currently has a larger force again. That is slowly dwindling away then in terms of advantage as well, as Nicko is very aggressively catching up. We got 318 versus 318, actually equal number of victory points for just a brief second there. And the tank going up. There we go, T-34-76 out there for Nicko. Bit of skirmishing there. 17 kills on that flak, half that much else. And there we go, Nicko's T-34 racing ahead here. Kugelwagen MD-34 will be no match for it. Despite whatever you might think about the Kugelwagen, it's not capable of stopping a T-34. I can't imagine one would think that. But if someone out there does believe it, no, it can't. KV-2 almost good to go. T-34 just keeps up pressing the Expense Runner's front line. Keeps him a bit off guard. But he can go for the Yak Panzer now. Instead he's going for Panzerfusiliers, meaning likely Panzerschrecks. So chances are he's either aiming for the Panther or the Tiger tank here. Fuel point then being lost in victory point. He probably should look to claim the southern one. Or flat harder from the northern, we'll have to see there. I suppose we could try and push for both, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. Double line to tanks over there for Nicko, and there go for taking a devastating hit, and there goes ground punch quarters once more in the line of fire here from Nicko and the 7th Tank Corps. You've had a bit slow. Again, never setting up. Shot bounced. T-Fed going straight for the flag craft attack. Oh, shices. Oh, he's calling in smoke here. Very good. Flag craft attack, I think, is going to go down now. Oh, he tried a quick maneuver there, didn't work out. He's 23 flag craft down. He still got the KB2, but it's here except from the KMS, both end of the tanks now trying to shoot through the smoke, but attacking ground through smoke is actually a lot less accurate. There's a good chance of just missing a lot of the shots. Close save there for Expensive Runner this time around. He's still some time away from any sort of armor, and again, he might be playing the Tiger, but honestly, I think a Yak Panther would be better at this point. There we go. Panzer's put the T-Fed for up its misery. He cut through it to try and pursue the KB2 with it. So yeah, lowest in the flat craft attack, that was quite expensive for his Expensive Runner. Was one of his best counters, just all of Nicko's infantry. Was definitely an absolute pain in the arse for them. So there's a great win there for Nicko to put that one just out of his misery. Quick grenade there. Oh, smoke grenade. Fair way there of advancing. Coolbine heading for the southern victory point. 300 versus 300. Shock troopers there. There he goes, using the southern point. We got a Panther. Oh, go Panther. Panther. Like, Panther for at this point would be absolutely bizarre. Panther makes more sense, but even then, Yak Panthers probably in some ways would be better. Better range. Not better penetration, but better DPS. Got both tanks opening up with fragmentation rounds, high explosive rounds there at the advancing forces, but they're not quite hitting. And there you go, Branham done it off. KB2 moving in. Kevin shoots, misses. Panther slowly getting halfway down there for Expensive Runner and the 3rd Panzer Division. They're both staying very close to each other in terms of victory points by now. Now the side really gaining a big lead for long before the other loses a victory point and sort of gets pushed back into place. Fixing up the Schwerer Panzerhauptquartier there. Panzerfusilier on watch. Coolbike in down, it repairs as well. KB2 with 13 kills sitting out. I think like 1944-45, there wouldn't have really been any KB2s left. They were, I think, not built in large numbers anyways. A rather expensive specialist tanks. Overall, the KB tank series in general was quite expensive. There we go. Expensive Runner set up for the Panther now goes to the Tiger tank. I guess. Certainly better versus the infantry, but not to perform against KB2. And there you go, something up. You've got one ambush there. Both rockets, though, failed to penetrate the KB2's armor. Which, of course, in the actual war wouldn't have happened. The KB2 generally didn't have that big armor, certainly not enough to, like, withstand the power of the Raketna, which I think could roughly penetrate 200mm of armor. Are the Tiger tank setting out there? Well, we got here on the KB2. But there you go, line to tank and droids essentially forcing it away. KB2 also falling back here. We got 293 versus 282. Panzer's moving up there, or Panzerjäger's moving up there. And the tank is being routed. And we see the Expensive Runner heading eastwards against the east of the points there. Very good move there, at least. Trying to move in and sort of grab territory where Nicko's not really doing anything to defend it. It's a very sensible approach overall. And the Coolbine, by the way, is still alive. Like, it hasn't done a lot of damage, hasn't gained a lot of veterans. He's just a veteran too, but he's actually able to keep it alive for almost half an hour. That's quite impressive. That is quite impressive. Still would be even more impressive if X-Man to get to veteran farm in the process. Tiger tank getting the KB2 flanking it, but still fails to penetrate. Or fails to hit, apparently. Wow. I don't know what touch would happen there, but he just failed to do any damage to the KB2. There you go. Finally shot went through. Tiger tank took a lot of damage there. He's routed. Machine gun ending slow shot to bits. Gonna need to fix up that T up very soon. Stone Pioneers are, there we go, ready to do that very swiftly. Trying to grab the southern fuel, then got smoke screen off. Panzers going in there. Gonna blackly pop a grenade and suppressed shock troopers. Die Stielhandgranate. Looked like he was tying his shoelace and then got hit with a grenade, but he managed to pull through nonetheless. The outlet has made our sterner south, obviously. KV2 being rammed forwards there. And the forces quickly fall back there from the mansion as they absolutely do not have the tools to withstand the KV2. Calling in a smoke screen on the retreat path, just in case. That's definitely not a bad idea if I expense around that. Would be a shame to allow us an infantry squad now, heading southwards there. Mines going off. Kubwagen also finally bit the dust. So many mines from Nicko, by the way, 2 thumbs up, and he still has tons of munitions to spare. Wow. He's spamming mines, he still has more munitions than he actually spend. You could also consider laying down booby traps, to be honest, but I'd say that's actually slightly impressive though. Like, he's actually mining a lot, but he still ends up floating a lot of munitions. Like, you can't fault him for that. Got Orbs on the way, the expensive runner and the 3rd Panzer Division. Mine goes off. HT5 tanks will deal with the Tiger tank there. Good move. Got artillery code in here. By expensive runner there. Using the Tiger tank with Panzer commanders caught in a barrage. Side didn't get any of the anti-tanks with a bit, forced them back a bit. Finally around the centre here, got followed was the Strafniki in the south. Shock troopers holding off a larger German infantry force, got infinite assault rifles on the way for the Obersoldaten. Very good pick there. Up north, points being seized here. Follows on the airframe from the KV2 now eventually 2 bar with 20 kills. Titan going in there, landing a good hit, but not enough to finish it off there, obviously. Far from it, in fact. More mines up here again. He's just laying down entire minefields now. There's still so many more in the south going off there on expensive runners' men. Katyusha following out the expensive runner to further help try and break through expensive runners' defensive lines and the infantry. Strat on the way there, probably for the mechanized regiment to help repair his Tiger tank. Quad here at the front line. Ishvar moves up, shoots and penetrates the Tiger tank's frontal armor. Shock troopers into the orbital and there goes on forced away. There's this ace shock troopers up close to the orbital and with infinite assault rifles don't stand much of a chance. Particularly when this shock troopers are able to close on into them due to the terrain there, not offering them orbital a chance to shoot at them before they got too close anyways. Good use of terrain there by expense of Nicko, not by expensive runner. There you go, Katyusha rocket launch out there. The BM-13, there are numerous versions of the Katyusha rocket truck. Some firing much larger rockets than what the BM-13 was firing. Little fun fact. Another fun fact is that actually mount Katyusha rockets other things. Like I think there's other T-50 to T-6. There's a version that had a few Katyusha rockets mounted on it as well. Goes back from the infield, taking after the shock troopers there in the centre. We got the assault going in there. KV2 supporting the advance here from the US-85 Prime current fire as well there. A slow measured assault here by Nicko against expensive runner. And basically expensive runner doesn't quite have the range to deal with that. She has to counter-attack, so I'm going to break this assault up. Ken never shoots, misses. King Tiger, oh, Tiger tank bounces, not King Tiger. Ken bounces again or misses again. Unit wiped out there. Looks like the Sturmpaniers bit the dust in service of Deutschland. Quite a loss there for expensive runner. Nicko's assault continues. The Ken Holt's getting taken out here. R1 nearby, halfway to effective fleet, but will it be enough to stop the KV2 at this range? Probably not. Buford following up the south. Bishop Farm Entertainment bounces, and no one goes through. KV2 gets hit through there. Expensive runner falling back into his base. The situation looks a bit desperate. There you go, Katyusha firing. Oh no! Right into all the bunched up infantry. And the KV2 shoots as well. Expensive runner's force are taking heavy casualties. Nice shot, not trying to front of the KV2 here. 26 kills, 28. Half fade to the 8th level target tank flanking here. KV2 down to half health. Trap hand pulls almost haven't got smoking down here. KV2 almost down. Can he get it? Cold Inspector sending there you go. The target tank goes down. The 8-5 knocked it out. And that, I think, Expense Runner is out of this. There we go. GG. Game over. A loss for the German army. A victory for the Soviet army. A brutal series of fights here with a lot of back and forth here. And many times very close fighting here between Expense Runner and Nicko. But in the end, I feel like Expense Runner shouldn't have gone for the target tank. He should have gone for something like Yak Panzers to help deal with all of this stuff at like a safe range. He'd be able to get out 2 Yak Panzers. I think he'd been much better suited for like dealing with the KV2 and any issued fires as well. But overall, I mean, good play this one. Nicko, really good mining. That really also just took a lot of steam out of their Expense Runner's moves a lot of the time. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. Subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Links. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope you all more again from another training episode. Bye.